Hey, what's up, Dean? Super Performance. Welcome back to the shop. We've got Alex's Nova up on the lift and left off with the drive shaft bolt, which I have the new one over there. Good thing I remember that, but I got the brake line in and ran a little bit different. It comes farther behind the axle now, but it's one piece. So I reused all the hangers. Maybe needs one more there. A little clamp there. Maybe. But comes up along the frame. Then goes over the frame and up into the back of the proportioning valve way up there, which needs to be tightened up. And then I can put clamps on the power steering hose. Hopefully that gets rid of leak there. You see something on the power steering leak in there. And then I had a little transmission leak, which was from the lines just not being tight, I believe. Get in there. Nope. Yeah, I don't know where they are. Oh, there they are, way up there. Yeah, I think it was from the lines just not being tight because they were like hand loose. I could see it on the bottom of the radiator there, and the bottom of the line up there. So I tightened those. Hopefully we're good to go there. I did adjust the timing, and it was at, I got the new fuel line in too. I don't know if I showed that, but I got it connected here. Runs up, P-clamp. Runs down like a factory P-clamp kind of. Tucks under the frame. Goes on the outside of the leaf spring mount now. And then comes across to another clamp, and then a couple bends to P-clamp, over the frame. Well, I gotta fix that line there. How it goes behind the idler like that. I just gotta give it a little. Oh, I see. I forgot to put a P-clamp in there. So I gotta get another P-clamp up in here, and then it comes under everything and up and connects there, and then goes to the fuel pump, and that's got like a nice loop in it. So I'll fix that now that I looked at it. Good thing. But he sent me a list and he mentioned e-brakes, and there is no provision for an e-brake on this caliper, which is weird to me. I don't know why that would be unless they're front calipers. That's the only thing I could think is these are front calipers. But I don't know, to be honest. Yeah, so I got the timing adjusted. They had it at 39 degrees. So now I got it down to about 11. It idles a little smoother. But I'm having issues with the idle mixture screws that just don't do anything. When you go all the way in, you come all the way out. They literally don't change any vacuum reading. So that's either going to be a jetting issue or a carb issue. So I'm going to have to address that with him. I did notice this is a serpentine belt that has jumped back a groove. He mentioned this. And then it's actually at the front of the alternator pulley, but there's a groove at the back of the alternator pulley. So it's definitely misaligned, and that's because those are factory small block Chevy brackets that are meant for V-belts, not for a serpentine belt. So that one's a little weird. He mentioned the pulley was wobbling, but I think it's just the normal way that the factory pulleys kind of wobble. I think maybe he just noticed it a little bit. I didn't really look at it too much. But yeah, we are trying to get through as much as we can. I really need to fix that power steering leaks, but it looks like it might be the actual pump that's leaking. So we have to have a little talk, but I'm going to let the car down and tighten up that brake line, and then we'll be back. I almost forgot. So I put the drive shaft bolt in. It is an Allen head. That's all I could find in a longer bolt, but I took my bolt back out and I got the body mount back in, and it tugged the body down like almost an inch. This bolt barely threaded in when I put the mount on it, which was pretty crazy that it was that far out of whack. But yep, tugged it down. It's a little bit different. It's a little flatter of a washer. It's not quite as big, but it's a whole kit, so he can kind of, almost looks like that's missing one. Oh boy, oh boy. But I'm gonna give him the whole kit, and he can keep it around. You know, if he wants to go through and change them all, that's fine. I don't know that they need to be, but I may have put that one in wrong actually, but I don't know. No, maybe not. Anyways, I'm gonna let the car down. So this is what I was talking about with the alternator. You can see how far back the alternator is, and there's still an open groove, and you can see the belt has been cut. One groove has been cut because it's shifted all the way back on the rest of the pulleys. This is just a factory small block bracket, and then this is a small block bracket, but then you see down at the water pump they put a spacer in there. They cut something off of something, they put a spacer in there, but it didn't it's not spacing the alternator out. So one of two ways to fix this: I can machine a bigger spacer. It only needs to be maybe 1/4 of an inch, and then machine 2 spacers down here and use like 2 heim joints with an adjuster, which is what I might do. Just have to make sure when you do that, you have to make sure the alternator doesn't try and twist, and this bracket should help it from doing that. So what I'll do is run a straight edge across the water pump and crank out. I'll measure the distance to the alternator, and those are the spacers that I'll make for that bracket. And then I'll remeasure this spacer and make a new spacer there. So I could do all that. That's not too big of a deal. I have to order some heim joints, and I think I hope I have tube that I could weld in between the heim joints, but the rear brake line is in, so I came up and just 90'd it into the back. Give it a little push over, get away from the steering column. And then I got the timing light on it, set to 11 degrees, so that's about where it's at, is 11 degrees of timing. I adjusted the choke just a smidge. I did the throttle linkage rod with 2 heim joints. I tightened up the lever to the pedal right there, that bolt. It's actually there's an Allen head on the bottom and then that nut on the top, and it's kind of like a double D or double flat, whatever you want to call it, shaft for the gas pedal. So I tightened that up, put it as far forward because that's the pedal positioned up, built this rod, measured everything, built the rod, and what it does is it runs into the kickdown cable when it's in. It rubs against it right here. I mean, could you get away with it? Probably, but it jumps over it, so I don't want to have a stick and throttle issue. So I think what I'm going to do is take the bracket and flip it so that I could turn the adjuster to the inside, and that should give me more room for the cable, oh boy, on the backside. See how it's got like a half moon in it? Well, that's built into the bottom of the kickdown lever. You can't really see it, but it's built into the bottom of the kickdown lever to hold it in position. So I think I'm gonna take the bracket, this bracket here, move it to the outside and flip it around. Possibly creates a bigger problem for me, but figure something out. I might have to refold the tab over. Not sure yet, but I gotta take that apart next. I got the billet spacer on there. It's actually billet. I didn't know it was billet, but it's just a spacer to raise the low profile air cleaner up so it doesn't bump nothing underneath. Yep. That's where we're at. So today's hot and I am just out of breath here, but I think what I'm gonna do is try to get these grounds tied up, and then I don't remember. Yeah, I gotta figure out this carburetor deal, what's going on with it and why it doesn't want to work with me. So I didn't check the choke, but I did see it opening up. So I should double check that has power. Pretty sure it does, but I'll double check that, and then I will figure everything else out, order up the heim joints and stuff. I believe it is charging, so we shouldn't need the excitement wires. Regulator, yeah, alternator regulator, and then I'd imagine that's just a 12-volt feed. Comes off. I don't know what that's for. That's a separate wire, so we'll have to look at what this red wire is for. Yep, and then we don't need these, so we can get rid of those. And then I gotta buy the little nut for the light switch. Why it's not there, I don't know. But I gotta buy the nut that holds it into the dashboard and figure out what the rest of these wires are. I know it's radio, heater, stuff like that, but and then that black one hanging out is actually the antenna wire. It's broke. So yeah, get everything tied up and cleaned up and talk about this carburetor situation, what we're gonna do, because I don't know. But today I'm out on the other side. We did get the Jeep back. Richard across the street, L&R Paint, took the whole front end off the Jeep, painted up the whole firewall real nice. So it is ready for its motor and transmission. I gotta clean up the frame. I'm gonna wire wheel the frame and just spray some frame paint on it, and then that'll take care of all that, and then just start cleaning up all these wires, hopefully. For now, that's it. Appreciate you watching. Silhouette. Appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified, leave me a comment. Have a good weekend.